I've rewatched Mikel Arteta's press conference. I've also been fighting with barking dog in the neighborhood, so I have so many things I'm doing at the same time. But hello everyone, welcome back to Kosi's Arsenal podcast. My name is Kosi, and this is your Mikel Arteta press conference reaction ahead of the Fulham clash. Of course, he spoke about so many things, especially Smith Rowe, Aubameyang, and a couple of other players. The dog is barking again. He also spoke about Alexander Lacazette. He was asked about Fulham as a club as well, and a couple of things he would expect in the weekend clash. And he said every game is important. He wishes Fulham treat that game as important as he is going to treat it. So probably we are in for a very, very nice and good treat. So let's get the party started. Smash the like button, people. Comment with your thoughts in the comment box and tell me what you think about Arsenal Fulham. Do you think we can win it? Do you think Arsenal is going to lose it? Because at times we've been disappointing, haven't we? But again, it's another game that I think Arsenal should actually get 3 points, put them in the in the backpack, and move straight on. So let us look at Mikel Arteta. What did he talk about? What are the major questions he was asked, and what was his response? First and foremost, he was asked about the situation with pierre-emerick Aubameyang, because there have been so many things going around. Aubameyang is not, talking to the manager. Aubameyang this, Aubameyang that. He has flu now. This, but of course, he did confirm that Aubameyang had malaria, and he said they didn't know, the club didn't know, and they didn't expect the player to have malaria. But it was after a couple of tests were taken, I think by the doctors, and then they confirmed that he had malaria. But now he is very, 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 very fine. And of course, he said the game we won over the midweek in the Europa League. That was a get well soon message to pierre-emerick Aubameyang. That was brilliant, Mikel. That was very, very brilliant. So look, I think Aubameyang needs to come back as a striker because you need him next season. This season, probably you might not demand. He was asked about this, Mikel, whether Arsenal are better off without pierre-emerick Aubameyang, and he said no. He's one of our best, better players. He's one of our best players. So there is no way you can say we are better off without him. He's not one of the reasons Arsenal is not performing well, and I absolutely agree. I think he just needs to get himself back as a player. He's very, very wanted. He's very important to Arsenal. He's our captain, and all of us know what Aubameyang can do and what he has done for this club. So he said he's back. He's fit to play against Fulham. So probably he's one of those players we are going to see against Fulham. Whether Mikel Arteta gives him the football or he doesn't, that will depend on him as a manager. But personally, in my opinion, I think he needs some time to rest. I could see him maybe in the Everton game because against Fulham, I don't think we are going to need a lot of pierre-emerick Aubameyang. But that's according to Mikel. He did say that Aubameyang had malaria and now he is very, very fine. He was asked about the prospect of us going into the UEFA Champions League. Of course, we have three wins away from going back to the Champions League. Something that I have a very bad feeling about. Imagine Arsenal playing Bayern again. Isn't that 10-0? But anyway, he was asked about that, and he did say that, look, he hates playing in the Europa League. That's the first thing he said. It's very difficult to play on Thursday and Sundays because when you play on Thursday, you rest on Friday, you train on Saturday, and then you're playing on Sunday. He said it's very, very hard. It's so tiresome. Some for the players, for the management, for the club as well. And he said he wants to go back to Champions League where you play on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then you either play on you either play on Saturday or Sunday. Of course, that gives you a little bit more of time to rest. Because if you play on Wednesday, then you rest on Thursday, Friday. Then you could play on Saturday, or you could actually play on Tuesday and rest until Sunday. So that's the beauty with the UEFA Champions League. So he was asked about the prospect of Arsenal going back to the Champions League, and he said, "Yeah, I want us to go back to the Champions League because I hate playing in the Europa League." So I don't know what we shall do in the in the Champions League when we get there, but I don't want my mouth to blabber a lot of dismay. I want us to go through and see what happens next season. Mikel Arteta speaking about Fulham, he was asked about Fulham whether they have been a little bit unlucky, and the fate of them has been a little bit unfair, especially in some games. And he said yes, he likes the way Scott Parker sets up his team. He likes the way they play their football, and he thinks they've been unlucky, and at times fate has been unfair to them. This season they should have gotten a little bit more of points. And I'm like, Mikel, you should say that to Arsenal as well. We've been very, very, very unlucky this season. But I think the point there and the beauty there is he agrees that Fulham have a level of quality. I think ever since Scott Parker, they have that level of quality. They have some few players in there, the Mitrovics of this one and the others. They can do you some harm. That's the truth. They can do you some harm, but I don't expect Fulham to be a very, very, very big, massive threat to Arsenal. Yeah, they had a good performance against Liverpool, and Mikel has been talking about it and said, they should have gotten even a better result against Liverpool, but still, he gives them that respect as a team. Of course, he talked about preparation time from Europa League to playing on Saturday to playing on Sunday. Sorry, and he said you lack preparation time. He said Fulham are lucky because they have a lot of time to prepare. Of course, we are playing Europa League, so we cannot have a lot of time to prepare. But for me, the beauty there is whenever you know your problem, you can get to solve it. Our problem is playing in the Europa League. Good. Take us to Champions League and make sure that we remain there. How are you taking us to the Champions League when we are ninth? But okay, he says there's not a lot of time to prepare. I absolutely agree with him on that. We have had a very important and game midweek, a final in the quarterfinals. It's been ridiculously overwhelming. But I think why do we need to prepare a lot? That's stupid, isn't it? We do need to prepare, and I think the players could have been tired. We used a lot of muscle in that game. So probably I expect Mikel to play around with the midfield, but I don't expect to lose. He talked about Lacazette's reaction after missing the goal. A stupid question that I thought a journalist asked as well. And we were laughing because the journalist really said Lacazette missed a goal in the first leg, and now he has scored 4 goals in the last 2 games. What do you have to say about it? And I was like, really? But of course he talked about Lacazette's reaction, which all of us have seen. I think Lacazette has really responded very well to the fact that he misses sitters. Has been a little bit clinical in the past 2 games against Slavia Prague, against Sheffield United, because I think the goal he misses against Slavia Prague is the same goal he scores against Sheffield United, and I think he gets a penalty in the second leg, and then he gets that that chance in the in the box where he has to twist and turn the players and get the back of the net, and he does it brilliant well. So I have no issues absolutely with Alexander Lacazette. And of course, finally spoke about Emile Smith-Rowe and Nicolas Pepe, and he said he's amused by Smith-Rowe's performance. And as a person as well, being the fact that he's a 20-year-old, because that's what he was asked, that the confidence, the tenacity, everything this boy possesses is just up there in the air. And he said it's all about composure. And of course, he didn't give him a lot of credit. I'm not trying to lie. He didn't give him a lot of credit. He said he has the composure. He has what he needs to do. He said when you look at that goal, the first one he scored, it was a lot of good work, and the moment he's cancelled, he doesn't give up. He waits for the right time, makes that pass to Nicolas Pepe, and also Pepe takes his time, waits for the right moment, and puts that ball in the back of the net. So he says Smith-Rowe has the composure, he has all the qualities to become a very, very big talent, and he says now a very, very important player. I cannot agree anymore, because I think I cannot disagree, because I think without Martin Odegaard, you need a player like you need a player like Emile Smith Rowe. You just need a player like Emile Smith Rowe, and I think what he's doing at Arsenal is so brilliant. Ever since he came onto that, came into the side, I think in December, he's been doing tremendously well. I think Mikel has to be very proud that he's given him a chance. And we say this before even December. Give Emile Smith Rowe a chance. Man like Mikel Arteta was using his big head to refuse, and now you can see how he's giving him a lot of credit after us asking for that that appearance. But I think what I'll say about that is Smith Rowe has become very, very integral in Arsenal. Very integral. I've seen Mikel trying to create space for Emile Smith Rowe. If you still remember when Odegaard was taking us through those rough times, what he did is he played Emile Smith Rowe to the left hand side of the pitch as a left midfielder. So that shows you how important Smith Rowe has become to Arsenal, and I cannot disagree. If of course, like I always say, Arsenal has the quality. We just need to go and get the result. My name is Kosi. That has been Mikel Arteta's press conference reaction, and we'll come for the match preview and the confirmed, the statistics, the team news, and everything at exactly 7:30 p.m. That is when I'll be back.